So now the entire cabin is sitting at the same level grade, and it's really, really nice. I'm super happy with how this turned out. A few days ago, it started pouring down rain. The grade is not optimal here, so all the rainwater collects on the driveway and works its way down underneath the cabin, which is going to undermine the foundation. All of this hard work that I did. What I'm going to end up doing is having a friend of mine, Mark, build a block wall along the entire front here, and then 8 feet here and 8 feet on the other side. That's going to allow me to, when all is said and done, backfill against the front of the cabin here and achieve proper grade for proper drainage so that water doesn't make its way underneath the cabin. There's still a couple more things that I need to do. Okay, now it's ready. Those 2 metal stakes that I pounded into the ground mark the grade of the bottom of the concrete forms for the footing of this wall. That'll make it easy for Mark and his team to do what they need to do. And in the process of getting things ready, I exposed the septic tank line. And I figured, you know what, while I'm here doing this, I might as well just keep digging and find this tank, because I've never seen it before. So I dug and dug and dug until I hit something green over there. Found the lid over here. There it is. Just got to dig it up now. I found this really old fiberglass septic tank. It's got 2 chambers in it, 2 lids or so, I think. Now, I did a self-inspection of my tank, and it looks like everything's functioning properly. Time for the big reveal. Oh gosh. There was a design sticker on the back side of the lid when I took it off, so I'm quite positive that if I keep digging, I will find that other lid. I didn't dig it up because there was something wrong. I just dug it up because I wanted to take a look. And since I'm doing all this excavation, it's a mess around here, and I'm like, let's just do this now. It just makes a lot of sense. Plus, once all is said and done and I backfill against that wall, I'm gonna be regrading this whole thing, and a big factor in determining what that final grade needs to be is the location of the septic tank, because something that this obviously doesn't have right now is the ability to access those 2 lids from surface level. So yesterday I went to town and I got this riser pipe, and I got 2 lids, and I got some lumber, and I got this French drainage weird stuff. This will be installed after the construction of the wall is complete. That's going to go around the foundation to help with drainage, but I'll explain more about that when I install it, because it'll make more sense. With that info and context out of the way, I'm going to continue digging and find the second lid. You lose it? It's over there. Go get it. Go get it. Question is, how many of these little rib things is it gonna take till I get to that other lid? How many, girl? How many? Am I getting close? Looks like it should be getting there. Maybe right about here. I think we found it, girl. That's it. Right there, girl. Yeah. Ooh. This label of the design of the tank is better on this lid than it was on the other one. Now we're going to put the riser pipe on there, and the height of each one of those is going to be based on the finish grade that eventually this driveway will be at. That's going to be based on the level of the concrete slab inside the garage relative to the step up onto the deck of the cabin. So I'm just gonna use the laser and maybe a board and a level to figure all that out. All right, this is slightly embarrassing, but in the process of figuring out what the length of those risers need to be, I realized that I messed up the grade of the gravel for this concrete block wall. And Mark just texted me a few hours ago and said he's coming tomorrow. And I was like, all right, yeah, no problem. Everything's ready, good to go. But I set up the laser and something was off, because I would check the level of that beam over there. I'm like, let me double check my design and everything. I'm 2 inches short on gravel. I mistook the grade that the dirt needed to be for the grade that the top of the gravel, when it's done, needed to be. So I'm 2 inches off. I need to add 2 more inches of gravel, which it should have been obvious, because when I was putting gravel in there, it seemed like I wasn't putting very much. It was like a really thin layer of gravel. I was like, wow, I guess I did. Everything makes sense now. So we got like an hour and a half left of daylight, so I got to go get gravel and I got to put it in that spot where the footings are going to go. Yeah, I'm kind of in a hurry now. So I didn't get footage of it, but that same night I compacted that rock in the same way, using those pier blocks, just lifting them up and dropping them down so that gravel base is nice and compacted and ready for the footings. All right, they have arrived. It's block day, and what beautiful weather we have today.
No more mobile homes, no more.
No, that means that's gonna be 1.5 inches.
We can probably make it work.
You can make it work, guys.
You must enjoy it. Do you have sponsors and all that, or?
The creators like myself, we get a portion of that ad revenue.
Gotcha. Do you post every week or every other week, or?
Typically once a week.
77 inches.
I've got a headlamp if you want to borrow one. It's just super dark.
Yeah.
Underneath the shade of these trees.
Do you get nervous when it gets windy?
You know, it doesn't get that windy in here too often. Luckily, I've only had a few small branches and stuff fall, nothing major. So, So were you guys working yesterday at a different
Yeah,
job?
we're actually building an ADU from Washougal.
Oh, Washougal, yeah.
It's only 544 square feet, so.
Oh, that's cool.
It's just for an older lady living on her son's property. So.
Mm-hmm.
You know, a little gap in that footing. Over there, the room's fine. slowly but surely.
That's awesome.
Did my dad tell you, or did you see the lease on it? We ditched pretty much the entire property, and then where my house is, it's 5 feet higher than everything else. But yeah, it definitely gets some water. Lift up on it, man. Money. Down. Watch your boot. Diego's got us packed like sardines in here.
Somebody needs to fire the excavator.
First, unstocking. Oh, your grade?
Yeah, riser pipes. All right, so the guys forgot rebar, so they had to go meet their dad halfway between the shop and here because it's a long drive for them to go all the way back. So they're gonna go get the rebar. So that's why the sudden disappearance of the truck. And I'm gonna work on cutting these risers to the right length and putting them in place.
Is it twice as long or not quite as much? Or?
Yeah, probably twice as long. I'll edit at night.
Yeah.
So I'll work during the day and then I'll edit at night. Especially this time of the year.
I like sun and open too much. I couldn't do it in the trees like this.
What did your dad say when you told him you forgot the rebar?
He wasn't impressed.
I think a lot of people who do think about it, funky was to code, you know? So being it to a certain, they're gonna care about that type of stuff.
Full permit to redo half the stuff that you don't want to redo.
Yeah, right. Really have like,
What year was this?
oh yeah.
How many cords of firewood do you burn in winter? Do you put 5 cords in there? Yeah, they sell them. You know what?
Nice.
I do. The reason the handle broke. Wider, a little bit wider than that.
Looking good, man.
Getting there.
So those are gonna push in and then stick up through the block.
Yep.
That'll
These go in.
Oh, so it's already kind of stiff.
Yeah, it's getting there. The first stuff I poured is definitely getting there. This stuff around the corner is still pretty juicy, but I already put those in. So.
So for the footing, you guys just use the same concrete that I've been using on this whole project. But this stuff, it's gonna hold the blocks together, is mortar mix.
Yeah. The next course is 8 inches. Lose that much. I think I call it.
Let's push it down. I would measure up from the concrete. If you go up 16 inches from there, then you'll be good.
Yeah.
That's what we based everything off of, was like you got the form perfectly where I wanted it, so we'll go based on the form.
Then you'll just level the house with that.
Yes, exactly. I like the idea of having that there.
Yeah, typically they don't lay up tight to something wood.
Yeah.
Pressure's on, Bruce. I'm gonna show this video to mom and dad.
So this one's going in the gap right there.
Then we'll brush it once it gets hard a little bit.
Okay.
Really put the finish on her.
So they're gonna figure out each corner first, and then they'll run a string along the longest side here.
Oh, for some fun ones.
Yeah, sorry about that.
Oh no. Nothing we ain't done before. At least it's only 2 courses.
Yeah.
Clark might have shorted us on block. I don't know. I did pick up all the block he told me to pick up.
Is this your center mark here?
This is, yeah, I put a point in the center to make sure I'm at the right elevation.
Oh, okay.
Because string lines sag. Especially when my leads are still so green, the mud's still so wet, I don't want to pull a super tight string and pull them over.
That was dangling down. Oh, so you had it slid over here,
Yeah,
but that's the actual center.
Yep.
I see. So now, because that string can sag, but now you know
Now
it's
it's
at the right grade.
perfect.
Okay.
You think next time you got it yourself, Diego?
I don't know. I'd be more willing to try now.
It's pretty basic. Hey, grab a trowel. I got a trowel for you, Diego.
I watched your dad do it back in the day, but it had been so long that
Yeah.
I couldn't even picture it in my mind how it was done. I would be willing to give it a try now, but I could definitely not do it as quick as you guys.
Yeah, it's definitely a little learning experience.
So you had to make the math work just right to make that one fit in there, huh?
Yep. Before I got started, I laid it all out.
Okay.
Further than the top of this.
beast, dude. Do your forearms get tired from doing all this?
Nah, we're beasts.
I can't imagine. When I was compacting the base, the gravel base for the footing, I was using those pier pads and just kind of pounding them, like lifting them up and dropping them over and over again. Because there's no other way. I mean, I couldn't think of another way to compact it because there's not much room there.
Yeah.
So it worked, but my wrists and forearms were killing me at the end of the day.
You were feeling that?
Oh yeah.
When you first start, it's pretty brutal. It takes a month or two to
Yeah.
get those muscles real built up.
His power is solar panels and batteries and hydroelectric water wheel. So he's got a creek running through his property, and he can open up a chute and the water starts flowing and it spins a wheel.
14 inches. Just cut at an angle. Like that.
Oh yeah, yeah, I was honestly thinking about doing that along the front here.
6 on the front, 5 on the back.
Bruce reminds me of myself. I would have done that with no mask and no earplugs just like he did. But with age comes a little bit more wisdom. So nowadays I would have a mask and earplugs on, but
Yeah.
not when I was 17.
Something like that.
Close. Yeah. All right, these guys just finished putting all the block in place, and it's not late, believe it or not. It's only 3:20 in the afternoon. It's just really cloudy and really dark.
Now we're just
Grout lines.
filling in all the joints,
Okay.
making them full.
Oh, that's what you're going to use to fill. Okay.
We'll fill these banks first.
Okay.
Got the vents in, put the rebar over the top. Yeah. Put the rebar right over the top and fill her all in. I guess I never checked if it was on eco mode.
I think it sounds like it's not.
I might have to cut the sides off on this.
Oh yeah.
Should be able to just grout it in place.
Forgot one earlier.
Get that in there. We'll throw a 2'90" in here.
And the 90 gets tied to each one of those on the top, or it just lays in there?
They just overlap.
Okay.
They don't actually tie to each other.
Okay.
As long as you got overlap, you don't need to tie. I mean, unless it's a commercial job. But
Yeah.
even then, very few jobs do we ever have to tie bars.
Oh, really?
I'm actually gonna pull this bar out for now. Hopefully I don't forget it.
I'll try and remind you. And you guys are doing a big wall that's like several courses high. Do you still wait until the end to fill, or do you fill like halfway through?
You gotta fill every 4 feet.
Okay.
You get 90 tight enough? Okay, mix another batch of grout. Yep.
Yeah, that was my idea.
Yeah.
And then maybe, yeah, just use the trowel and just like come back and forth and just fall in.
Or...
There's more bags over there underneath the tarp.
Like I need like 1 bucket. Yeah, we can make it work. Yeah, we'll leave these forms just so it don't collapse. I don't think it would. You can strip them tomorrow or Saturday or whenever.
In perfect circumstances, would you do it tonight or
Saturday?
Saturday? Okay.
Friday afternoon probably actually would be like perfect.
Okay.
Here's your headlamp back.
Oh yeah.
Really appreciate it. So
Yep.
thanks for all the hard work, man.
Of course, anytime.
Staying late.
It's nice seeing you again. That's what, like, I don't want to move out of here, but I can only afford Ariel and me and not spend it.
Yeah. All right, Bruce. Nice meeting you, man. Thanks for the hard work.
Hopefully no deer or elk right across the road. Have a good one.
All right, everybody, it's the next day and we can finally now see what this looks like in some brighter lighting. Last night I worked out here with my headlamp just to get that second riser buried so that it wouldn't continue to rain and soak the septic tank. So I got that done, and there's still a little bit more work to do on this, but it's pretty much done. The only thing that's left to do is to strip the forms, which means pull these 2x6s off. They took the stakes out last night and they said I could just keep these form boards, use them later, or throw them away, whatever I want to do with them, because they didn't want to have to drive all the way back up here on Monday just to strip the forms, and because you know it's a long trip up here for them. So that's good with me. I'll be able to utilize all those 2x6s in the future. So for clarification, Mark is a name that I kept saying throughout this video. You may have heard Trevor say it too. Mark is Trevor's dad, and we used to work together when I was in construction. At the time I was an excavator and Mark was a mason on a lot of the job sites that I worked on. So to make a long story short, we used to work together, and I knew that he was a great mason. He did a really good job. And I actually met Trevor before, that's his son, but he was like 14, 15 years old at the time. And now he's 24, so he looks a lot different, is a lot more mature now. And then Bruce, I had never met before. He's only 17 years old, but he's an employee of Mark's company now, All Time Construction. So it was really great to see Trevor again and to meet Bruce. I'm really happy with the work that they did. They're really hard workers. They did a really good job. Bruce reminds me a lot of myself when I was his age. I was very shy, didn't have much to say, but I was a hard worker and I was good at following instructions. So Mark came out here about a week before I filmed the video that you just saw. I didn't get any footage of him and I discussing this, but we looked at everything. I showed him the plans that I drew up, and then he sent me a quote. I gave him the approval, and then the boys came out here to do the work. And I was surprised at the time when I was talking with Mark. He's like, oh yeah, we can do this all in one day. Pour the footing, set the blocks. And I was surprised because I thought you had to let the footing dry, but he said if you mix it right with the right water to cement ratio, you can do all of it in one day, and that actually helps things bond together better. So I just fully put my trust in him because I've seen what he can do. But he specifically said, I don't want you to share our contact info. I don't need any marketing. We're doing all right. You know, you can feel free to film us doing the block work, and that's cool. Just get what you need for your video, but he doesn't want to put his contact info out there available for the world to see. So they are very good people, great family, very humble and very hardworking. I really like them and appreciate them. Oh, and before I forget, I wanted to mention the vents that I had the guys put in. Those are there for in the event that the crawl space of the cabin ever becomes airtight and completely sealed. You still want air to be able to flow in and out underneath. Thus the installation of the vents, except for by the deck, because the gap between the deck boards provides sufficient ventilation. So no need for the vents on that corner. But if I ever get around to completing the framing and the skirting around the rest of the cabin and insulate it, then I'll need to put vents on the rest of the skirting as well for adequate ventilation. I believe I alluded to this at the beginning of the video, but that was a long time ago, so I'm gonna restate it again. The majority, if not all of this block wall will not be visible by the time things are said and done with this project. Maybe only a small area on the side of the cabin, but the entire front, that's all going to get backfilled with dirt so that, again, I can achieve proper grade away from the cabin. And I'm gonna have to do some special trenching and grading. One of the major points of me doing this entire thing is to achieve proper drainage and be able to backfill against the cabin. So any little imperfections or concrete stains here and there, it's all going to get covered up. What's most important is that the cavities in the blocks are completely filled. The mortar that molds each of the blocks together is filled. And again, I'll have some French drain to help for extra drainage underneath the backfill material, but we'll talk about that more in a future video when I install that. These are all things that I talked about with Mark and Trevor. So they did exactly what I wanted them to, and they did what I needed for this specific project. I'm also gonna have to pick up some things called vent wells. They go around the vents and allow you to backfill without blocking the vents. So I need to pick up some of those on the next trip to town. Obviously there's a lot more work to be done here, but you guys will see that if you stick around and watch my future videos. You'll see it all continue to come together in the next few. So appreciate you checking this one out, and we'll see you on the next one. Thank you. Bye.